She already called me now. So if not be around 12 because I won't cook. She not call me before. Maybe I would say she don't tell me since yesterday. I would say okay, but I don't. Yeah. So, but come here. So that yesterday where una sleep?
In that house, but we have already packed all our things. Just lay in bed.
Okay, for this side. Okay.
Tomorrow everyone will go and carry the bed.
Okay. What did they happen? Let me keep that. Don't say rain don't fall now. But you go put. Oh, they don't do tire way. Give me your bottle. But what if I do? Like, ain't she coming back? Okay. Give me your bottle.
Baba, you're all done for you. What again? What again? Flavor Magano.
Endurance. Take it, give me pepper. 500 and 150. So I want blend it. One grinder.
You take how much?
I put one inside. Yeah. Five.
Baba, what is it? Tell me 2.5.
Yeah, but it's fresh. See fresh pepper.
Fresh pepper.
5.
the fairness coming from? You deceive yourself. I'm seriously without filter, so I don't really they look at having filter in your face. Because I'm sure you see yourself without filter. I didn't see you see the skills, so don't worry yourself. You have seen the skills. So now they think why your skin joy.
Hello, gas cake.
I am spice plantain. All of them. Yes. How much is it? 500.
Happy weekend.
Detergent, liver. Huh? How much? Like 197. And detergent, Viva, big one.
What happened? What happened? Okay, sorry. Wait. Sorry. But it's a crayfish. That's yeah. Wait first. Oh, okay, can't whine you. Sorry.
Please bring one tablet soap, bar soap, Viva.
Yeah, but you give me meat.
Meat how much?
Beef 1,000. Cow's head 2,000. Are you buying fufu?
Size. We have other good ones now. We have two plain, we have Mama Lemon. Mama, no worry, Viva.
Nice. Yeah, but why are you buying three? Huh? Put them down now. You see? Uh-huh. So me and you go take one. I don't understand.
I don't know what I expect us to do
Okay. Yeah, but you give me half bottle. No, come and see it here.
That means,
Yeah, but that is a big crayfish. Have you finished? I'll collect also. You know the tire. Pass so let me buy the go. Plus four.
unplug this phone.
Yeah, but it's a fufu no. Oh, yeah.
Just let me calculate. If I'm coming out now, I'll bring the fufu.
But no waste time. Yeah, but I need 4. Truth hunter. Do you smoke this morning? You smoke this morning? Huh? Yeah. Do you have a rainbow soap? And give me rainbow soap too. 2 Abby. How much?
Which one?
500. So, infinity. Are you sure? So poverty is around me. That is nice. Not about time. So, like I should not come out from my house and go and get what to buy and cook to eat for my family. Hmm? Go and build yourself. Wait now. No. Hey, Pratan. Oh.
What does that mean? 3.
4.
5 days when it didn't have so still okay.
75 days.
5 days.
This is
Can't be 75 days. How do you eat apple for another place? For my place, when I pack from what I go mama tell the place, they go buy apple for make I eat.
And like a for me.
lately become
They reduce ants.
the fuck up. They do anyhow.
They do nyanga.
They leave the work for you workers. I tell and say I know.
But what's the time? Can't they dey soft?
They don't do the market anyhow. She enter another business.
That was then I
But this one,
Yeah.
she said that she use her hand do am.
Yes. That's why can't they dey soft?
Tell am say I dey sell that now. I know they sell anyhow.
Yes, so.
They do your own anyhow. No go pay you. So I go market, use my hand find the
I hope when they buy this apple. Even for the woman there, for Mama Cherry, his sister come. That one they believe.
1.8.
Go come here, buy and if they go.
2.7. This one 900. But 2.7. Don't buy two. What do you go? 3,060. 500. This one. 7.
500. 200 crayfish.
This one 80 now, not the milk. Plus crayfish 200. This one
15 naira. I beg, 15 naira. I beg. The 15 naira. So I mean, eight 450. I don't buy anything extra.
8,000. You know, shock you. For Kukuma go buy that for you. 2K. Later, person go be that. Eat rice.
And make come out return them. Make they go ask.
I better call them, make them collect card too. Come up for you. Call them now, make I pay come on here.
Come and Gerance, come oh. Great POS. This I mean that tell you say I come and we do buy something. I think spend something of 10,000 here. I don't go for shit.
I'm going to money.
okay.
I'm not person.
So this one what you spend now 20,000. Yes, and how much you spend?
Almost 15,000.
You must eat every day.
No, no, just that they do.
You can't go buy that for 2.5 where no sweet. And because I say you no sweet, make you just put like that.
And I went up the self. But she calculated.
Now me I have one more.
I don't come here before.
Say madam take.
Waiting all this season. Before I know she can't go times. Wait till you don't calculate before you can't add anything.
Since when?
Maybe not mistake now. You know, so all these people, their head not today because of crowd. They don't first say 1,000. They can't later add them again. I say no, make she start again. And she start because she say no 4,000. You don't say 5,000.
If I tell you the comment where I just received just now, and I dey bite it, I do my stream now. With somebody who pour party just as they around you for.
You do because of the
Say,
shop. Because of the shop.
I don't know. He said poverty don't dey around. I said yes, so poverty dey around me. Oh. If you want help me, help me. He said I will tell her, I said no, I went to buy something. It didn't concern me.
I'm not in Nigeria. I get poverty in Nigeria.
For instance, there's some people even say they from this year or they suffer past anybody. They will come outside, they talk nonsense. They don't be never do this one.
They go pass the cruise.
They came to eat first. About why are you passing? You say your own.
So make the boat go fall on top.
No, like for woman passing, as they like shortcut.
Not the short down, the same routes.
You don't finish this. I don't know whether that finish. It's small thing. I rented the place. You want turn up?
No, that must be my message. If you go back for me, though, nobody there.
Somebody keep their put in their dustbin, then they'll just go scatter it.
Then get mine. You see here, they're all comfortable, the pieces person, something. I'm still thinking that they'll put them there.
Farmer spots. So this one rice will be sweet. Where they under this canopy. But they are saying it's a bit expensive.
So they say they have a pepper soup for you, like.
Yeah, even that person, that one they different now. But this pepper soup, it's not everybody that knows how to do it.
Back no good.
You won't take that. outside these days. It's tire me. It's tire me these days.
See?
Why it's now?
Okay.
Why come just go drop the car for them?
So more use like.
I use the wakanda to the inside.
See ya so. Basket.
Yeah, yes, we do that now. You come and clean this table. Use foam and you will remove all those outside. And you soap out of it. Okay? Clean this pot. Clean this pot. First one pot is this one. I said use a foam. Hi guys. Guys, we are cooking okra soup. Sweet okra soup. What is that? What is that? Did you know what he likes? It should be very smooth, oh. Very smooth. So this okra. You should be very smooth too. Guys, double tap on your screen. Give me a thumbs up. And also subscribe. And also subscribe to the channel, please, guys. Yeah, but you will pour everything inside the bit. If you like, make the do face for them. You should enter your eye first.
I put water inside because she had go inside it.
You say what?
I put water inside the blender, she go inside it.
Put it. Vera. Guys, that is close there to the room. I've blended everything. You want to do something? You sweep everywhere. This okra is too strong. The okra is strong. What is popping, guys? People will be looking at me. I'll be looking at you guys. I don't know what to say. I don't even know why. I don't really know what to say on my live stream. But what to do? We gotta move because of you guys. I have to move. I am now that kind of talk active person. Be finding something to talk. It's like I'm going to learn it. Yeah. So let me start now. Hi guys, this is Katy. This is my beautiful home, my beautiful family over here. You're welcome to my live stream as always. In today's live stream, we're not gonna talk much, but I'm going to show you guys what is popping. So I'm cooking okra. Do you guys know this? It is an okra. I'm going to do nice okra soup with fufu. Our best Nigerian delicacy. What is that? You have this. What is that? Don't be shouting for just no reason. Put the stockfish inside the bowl. Come on, put it here. I'm looking for. I got to come put it here. Inside.
Isaac Moore. Do not change my name, please. Okay. Yeah, but didn't you say yesterday that you dislike me because you feel that I was trying to ignore you? You told me I dislike you. Elvis. Elvis. You still own me since yesterday. I'm not sure that you own me. Am I a property that you be saying that I belong to you? Elvis! Yo, that is your message. You are like my trophy. I won you. Okay. Okay. Who is this boy disturbing you? He's my son, my child. He's my baby boy. He's my baby boy. This one's an idea. You want to give me? I mean, like, it's something that we put down there. Get this. Put water inside. So you put.
You must stay away from the elders. Okay. Amadi shameful. Okay, be okay. You are busy every month. Can't you see that? Seku Sumaoro. Health. You are always coming here and saying health, health. So what is unhealthy here? Tell me what is unhealthy over here. Pepper. Pepper in that soup that I'm cooking is too much. I hope the children are going to eat it.
I'm straight and lazy.
Come and plug this in, Elvis. Elvis. God, I beg. Elvis! Are you okay? No. No. Lie, you. But you have gone. Come on, go and come and do this fan for me. Can you imagine? I don't like what you're eating. Give me what I'm gonna eat. That is what who owns somebody do. If you don't like what I'm eating, you say, okay, can I? I will gladly say, yeah. Alberto. Hi, Alberto. Isaac, who asked you to answer? Who asked you to answer? Are you my moderator? Are you? Are you my moderator? Who is hungry don't need to smile because as I am like this, I'm very hungry. But I'll smile because of you. But before I smile, you are going to give me a like. Ay, she's stomach. It's funny. Come, Elvis.
Yeah.
Off it. I'll wait for a second. No, because we need the effort to check. Touch the energy. Come on, touch
It's
something.
warm.
Huh?
It's warm.
Is it hot? Very
It's
good.
warm. It's warm.
That's it. Please, I beg you leave me. Jabi said I feel that he's my superhero. Yeah. So what are we putting again? Funny. Really? Yeah, but you see the juice.
Well, that you're making a life difference.
I got to shoot again. You are the greatest of all time. That is goat.
It's not us.
You are a goat.
Please, you are the goat, not you are a goat.
Yeah?
You are the goat, not the goat. There's a difference.
Goat and goat, you know the same thing. Come, who are you threatening in this live stream? Hmm? But you are fighting who's not fighting you. You are fighting who's not fighting you. Hamstone Wazonga. Hi. Why do you want him to go away? He's not going anywhere.
How unimportant
Elvis, don't mess your business. You see that here? Ah. He has a channel. Clear Remnant.
Where is the cat here?
Are you tension? Who is that? Before she leave me, I beg. I am not inside though. I am out of this conversation. I speak more. Who water? Show your outfit. I did not wear anything serious, just house clothes. Why? Arab. You guys used to come to the live stream, but to mention your name, you don't used to mention your name. Guys, please subscribe to the channel.
You can't you just cough well? Thank you, Alberto Silva, for the like. I hope you subscribe. Hope you subscribe to the channel. What do we even put safe? I think I put this up. Now I don't stop in one place. Now this, I will look real. Oh my God.
Spoke enough because they had seen years of people, years of promises, years of I'll come back, and years of God will provide. So she had learned to listen without believing too quickly. Now, that compound itself was a complete story. If you stood in one place for 10 minutes, you would hear 10 different lights speaking at once. Someone would be arguing about light bill. Another person would be chasing a child who refused to wait. The man in room 3 would be playing music loud enough to announce his presence to the next street. And somewhere in the middle of all this noise, Madame Peace Puff would be waiting in the oil, round and golden like small suns that refuse to set. Customers came in different shapes. Some came with money and no greeting. Some came with greeting and no money. Some came with boats, and those were the ones Madame P liked best because they had conscience. After years of doing business, she had learned not to give credit easily, not because she was wicked, but because she had learned that it was the most peaceful option. Then, one morning, when the sun was still stretching itself lazily, a man walked to her stand casually. His name was Chukwebuka, but the compound renamed him Oga Flex because he bent situations the way a fresh branch bends in the wind without breaking. He was neat. In fact, too neat for the story he was about to start. His shirt looked like it had been ironed with discipline. His slippers carried no dust, and his smile spread across his face like a man who had never been embarrassed in his life. Good morning, ma, he said smoothly, like someone who had practiced respect in front of a mirror. Madame P looked at him briefly and nodded. Morning. He stood there for a moment, watching the pot rise and turn. Then he inhaled deeply, as if the smell alone could settle part of his problem. Then he began. Please, ma, help me with small puff. I forgot my wallet at home, but I will come back and pay you immediately. Then see, another neighbor who was arranging her wigs nearby paused and turned her head slowly. Madame P did not answer at once. She studied him the way a teacher studies a student before asking a question. Then she scooped a few puff into a nylon and handed it to him. Bring the money when you come back, she said. Of course, ma, I am not that kind of person. Oga Flex replied and collected it with both hands as if it was a blessing. Yemisi coughed lightly and muttered under her breath. Nobody is that kind of person until they become that kind of person. Oga Flex laughed as if he heard nothing, thanked Madame P again, and then walked away with satisfaction. Tola, who had just arrived, carrying a small basket of granules she sold, watched him go and then leaned toward Madame P. Madame, that one looks like he will remember the road but forget the money. Madame P raised her hand on her wrapper and replied calmly, Some people forget things naturally. Tola shook her head, yes, but some people forget with commitments. The women laughed and the matter rested there, or at least it pretended to rest. The next day, Flex returned even earlier than before, smiling like a person who had come to continue a conversation that nobody else remembered. Good morning, ma, he said again. Madame P raised her eyes, morning. He shifted his weight from one leg to the other, then cleared his throat slightly. Ma, I came yesterday, but I was rushing for something urgent. I did not meet you again, but don't worry. I will settle everything today. Just help me with small puff again. My client delayed payments. You ever seen
I'm doing fine.
Clients? This one has already upgraded me. Tola was smooth. Yesterday was wallet, today is clients. Today we hear contracts. However, Madam P said nothing. She simply gave him the puff again. And that was how it continued and turned into a routine.
So, but when someone they work
with new stories, the way a preacher arrives with new sermons, he would deliver each one with confidence that made it difficult to interrupt him. One day, it was a delayed transfer. Another day, it was an uncle in the hospital. Another day, it was an interview that would change his life. One day, he pointed his finger in the air and said, by next week, ma, everything will land. Yanisi could not contain herself that morning. She stood up, folded her arms, and faced him directly. Oga, even your stories now have timetable. Is it a series? The compound burst into laughter. Oga Flex laughed too, shaking his head. My sister, life is not easy. Tola added, yes, but puff is not free. He pointed at her playfully. You people will not understand. Yanisi replied immediately. We understand very well. That is why we are talking. Yet, Oga Flex remained unshaken. He ate his credit puff in peace. He chewed with confidence and even began to demand more. Madam P, add small akara. Let me balance my system. Tola laughed so hard that she almost dropped her basket. Balance which system? Your sister that is already in debt? Even Madam P smiled small, but she did not stop him. However, at night, when the compound had become quiet, Madam P would sit quietly and count. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. She remembered each day, each nylon of puff and each excuse. Then one afternoon, as the sun stood high like a supervisor watching everybody suffer, Madam P stepped out briefly to buy kerosene. And that was when she saw Oga Flex across the street at a Kia spot, laughing, ordering and paying cash. He even added extra meat as if money had just been released from captivity. Madam P stopped walking and looked at him. Then she looked away. She did not shout or call him, neither did she confront him. But something clicked inside her. From that day, she still gave him puff and listened to his stories. But inside her mind, she now understood the riddle that had been laughing at her from the beginning. Now, she no longer asked questions that needed answers. Instead, she allowed him to speak and decorate his life with confidence, while she simply stood there like a woman, listening to a story she had already heard the ending of. On top of that, his behavior also changed small. He began to arrive later than before and stopped breathing properly. Now, he would just say a quick morning that landed without respect. He began to pick puff from the nylon before even finishing his begging sentence, as if the transaction had already been agreed in a place Madam P had never entered. One morning, he walked in chewing granules. He was already chewing something. Then he said, Madam P, give me small puff. I will balance you later. Tola, who was seated nearby, dropped her chin slowly and looked at Yemisi. He's already eaten before collecting another one. This is advanced level. Yemisi folded her arms. At this point, this is not credit. This is a feeding program. Oga Flex laughed. He was not offended, not even slightly moved. You people talk too much. When money comes, you beg me to eat. Tola leaned back and said, we are not hungry for your money. We are only tired of your stories. Madam P said nothing. She handed him the puff and That silence gave him permission, so he began to order more. Make it 20 pieces, add akara, add fried yam. One afternoon, Oga Fear stood right there, eating puff slowly and speaking loudly, telling a story to nobody in particular. My brother just called me from Abuja. Once it lands, I will not even be staying here again. Yemisi waved her hands. Please go. Even your death will travel with you. The compound laughed, but Oga Flex laughed louder because he was immune to shame. Shame could not enter his body. It would knock and wait, but there was no door to enter. That was his strength and also his problem. That evening, Yemisi walked up to Madam P and lowered her voice. Madam, this thing is getting out of hand. He does not even respect you again. He's taking advantage of your good heart. Madam P adjusted the tray in front of her and replied, respect does not come from talking. Tola joined them. Then where does it come from, she asked. Madam P looked at both of them and said, from understanding. Yemisi frowned, understanding what? Madam P did not answer them immediately. She poured the last set of puff in the oil, then said, understanding that every action has a day it would answer for itself. The two younger women looked at each other. That sentence did not sound like complaints. It sounded like conclusion. The next few days came with a strange shift. Oga Flex still came, but not every day. Sometimes he skipped a day, sometimes 2 days. Then he would return, smiling as if absence was part of the agreement. Madam P, I have been busy, he would say. Busy with what? Well, nobody asked. Nobody needed to because his body language had already changed. He now stood at a slight distance when speaking. He ate faster now, left quicker and avoided unnecessary conversation. Tola noticed first. One afternoon she said, Madam P, he's preparing to run. Yemisi nodded. Yes, his spirit has already relocated, only his body is still coming. Madam P listened, then she said, let him go. Tola blinked, just like that. Madam P wiped her head slowly. A person who wants to run will run, but running does not end a matter. Yemisi leaned closer. So what ends it? Madam P looked straight ahead and smiled. The right moment. Yemisi and Tola looked at each other suspiciously, and from that evening, they started to suspect Madam P. One afternoon, Yemisi leaned on the wooden table and said, Madam P, you are planning something, right? Madam P faced her. Planning is a big word. I am only preparing. Tola, who was fanning herself with a piece of cardboard, stopped. Preparing what? Madam P smiled slightly. A package. Yemisi shook her head. You are speaking like exam question. Just say what you want to do. Madam P smiled. If I say it, it will not be sweet again. That answer did not satisfy them, but it did something else. It confirmed what they already suspected, which was that whatever Madam P had decided was no longer in the stage of thinking. It had entered the stage of waiting. For several days, Oga Flex did not come. Then one morning, someone said they saw him at the junction laughing with friends. Another person said he has changed his route completely. He now avoided the front of the compound like a man avoiding a former girlfriend. Girlfriend. Yemisi reported everything to Madam P. Madam, he crossed the road yesterday when he saw your stand. Tola added, he even pretended to check his phone like somebody that suddenly remembered an emergency. The compound laughed, but Madam P did not. She only nodded and then continued her walk. But from that day, she started to do something. She started keeping aside a small portion of batter each day. She would mix it differently and adjust it with deliberate care. Sometimes she would leave it longer than usual before frying. Sometimes she would check it twice, then set it aside in a separate bowl. Tola noticed this first, and one evening she asked, Madam, why are you keeping that one separate? Madam P replied without looking up. Not everything is for everybody. Yemisi narrowed her eyes. So that one has a special owner? Madam P smiled faintly. Everything everything has a owner. Some owners have not just arrived yet. That answer ended it. They stopped asking because when a woman begins to speak like that, it means you will never get any explanation from her. Then, one evening, when the compound was alive again with laughter and conversations, Oga Flex returned. He did not sneak in or look around nervously. He walked in the same way he always did, with his shoulders straight and a wide smile, as if time had not passed and nothing had changed. He spread out his hands and called out, "Madam P, long time I have been moving up and down." Yemisi froze where she stood. Tola stopped fanning herself. Even the man selling the church cards leaned forward slightly because something about that moment felt arranged. Madam P lifted her head slowly, then she smiled and said, "Welcome, my good customer." The compound became quiet immediately as every ear shifted in one direction. Oga Flex stepped closer, clearly relieved by her tone. "You know how work is, man," he continued, adjusting his shirt. "Things have been tight, but everything is settling now." Tola muttered, "Yes, settling in another person's account." Yemisi elbowed her, but her eyes remained fixed on Madam P. Madam P did not respond to his explanation. She only reached for the batter, then she did something unexpected. She scooped more than usual, dropped it into the oil, waited and turned it carefully. Then she added another set and another until the quantity was more than what he had ever received before. She packed it neatly into a nylon, then added akara without being asked. Then she pushed a soft drink toward him and said, "Sit, eat." Oga Flex blinked in surprise. Then his face opened into a wide smile. "Ah, Madam P, this is how life should be," he said as he sat down quickly like a man who had just been promoted without application. He began to eat slowly at first, then faster and freely, the way a person eats when they feel safe. Yemisi leaned closer to Tola and whispered, "This piece is suspicious, so." Tola nodded. "This is not peace. This looks like arrangement." Madam P stood there, watching him without staring. Then, after he had eaten halfway, she said, "Don't worry about payment. Today is free." That sentence landed softly, but its weight was heavy because everybody in that compound knew one thing. Madam P did not give freely without a reason or without an ending. Oga Flex laughed. "Ah, God bless you, ma. I knew you understood." Yemisi looked at Tola again. This blessing has meaning, oh." Tola replied, "Yes, and meaning has consequences." However, Madam P said nothing more. She simply stood there patiently like a woman who had not just acted, but had completed something that had been waiting for the right moment to turned her again and walked away carelessly, like a man who believed he had escaped a situation. And the compound pretended to return to its usual noise. Yemisi tried to continue her gist. Tola resumed fanning herself, and the landlord shouted at somebody for pouring dirty water near his door. But even inside all that normal pretense, there was a small thread of expectation running quietly through the place because everybody who had been watching the drama understood that after the reggae comes the blues. That night, Oga Flex slept like a man who believed the day had favored him. His stomach was full, his confidence was intact, and his mind was at rest because when a person has escaped many consequences, they begin to believe they have an understanding with life. Unfortunately, the next day, his morning didn't begin normally. Before daybreak, he woke up with a discomfort that did not introduce itself properly. He felt a slight movement in his stomach that made him shift on his bed. He opened his eyes halfway, turned to the other side, and closed them again, hoping sleep would settle whatever it was. But sleep did not settle it. The movement increased and became stronger and more deliberate. He sat up slowly and placed his hand on his stomach. He murmured. Then he stood up and boom. That was when it happened. Hot semi-liquid suddenly gushed rushed out from his express like a visitor that did not knock. He froze for a second, trying to understand what was happening. Then his eyes widened as the realization arrived with full force. Ah! He exclaimed and grabbed his stomach. From that moment, dignity left him. He rushed and ran fast out of his room without considering his tears. As he reached the toilet, the negotiation began, not with words, but with suffering. Real suffering. The kind that bends a man's back and humbles his voice. He held the wall and whispered, "Oh God!" But his body was not interested in prayer. It was interested in release. Unfortunately, again, it did not stop. It happened not once, not twice, but repeatedly, like a punishment that had been scheduled and refused to be postponed. Sweat covered his face. His breathing changed and his confidence disappeared. Then, somewhere between one round and the next round, a thought entered his mind slowly. Puff, puff. He paused, then shook his head. No, it can't be. Meanwhile, back in the compound, the day had started like any other, but news does not wait for permission before spreading, especially the kind of news that carries embarrassment inside it. Yemisi was the first to hear it. She stood near the gate speaking to a woman who had just come in. When the woman casually said, "Do you know that your puff-puff man is sick?" Yemisi turned sharply. "Which puff-puff man?" "That tall one that used to come here always smiling," the woman replied. "He has been running to the toilet since morning. They said it is serious." Yemisi did not wait. Immediately, she turned and walked back inside with a smile that was not yet fully formed. She called, "Tola!" Tola looked up. "What happened?" Yemisi lowered her voice slightly through the excitement. "Your shareholder is currently in a meeting with his toilet." Tola blinked, then sat up straight. "Since when?" "Since morning," Yemisi replied. There was a pause, then both of them slowly turned towards Mama P, who was at her stand, calmly turning Puff-Puff on fire, as if nothing in the world had changed. Tola leaned closer to Yemisi and whispered, "This is not coincidence." Yemisi nodded. "Yes, this is planned work." They walked towards her carefully, like people approaching something they already understood, but still wanted to confirm. "Madam," Yemisi said, "we heard something." Madam P lifted her eyes. "What did you hear?" Tola spoke this time. "They said Oga Flex is not well." Madam P nodded slowly. "Okay, people fell sick." Yemisi leaned closer. "This one is not normal sickness." Madam P wiped her hands calmly. "There are many types of sickness." The two women looked at each other. Then Yemisi said, "Madam, what did you do?" Madam P smiled knowingly. "I did nothing, no. I only gave him what he has been asking for." The two women burst into laughter as the answer sank in. By midday, the news had spread across and beyond the compound, and people began to add their own versions. They said he cannot stand properly. They said he's begging God. They said he has gone to buy drugs. Each version came with laughter, and each laughter came with meaning. And then, by evening, Oga Flex appeared, but he was not the same man. He did not have the same walking steps or confidence anymore. He looked like someone who had wrestled with his own body and lost. He approached the puff-puff stand slowly and muttered weakly, "Madam P." She looked at him calmly as ever. "Yes." He shifted slightly uncomfortably, then cleared his throat. I came to settle everything." The compound went silent. Even the air seemed to pause. Yemisi folded her arms. Tola leaned forward slightly. Madam P did not blink. She named the complete amount he was owing her, and Oga Flex did not argue. He brought out the money, counted it, added extra, and placed it on the table. He said, "I am sorry." Madam P nodded once. "You should eat when you are ready to pay," she replied. That was all. She didn't drag him or insult him. Oga Flex stood there for a moment, as if he wanted to say something more, but words did not come. Slowly, he turned and walked away. From that day, things changed. He still passed the street, but he no longer stopped. If he saw Madam P, he would greet her from a distance. If Puff Puff was calling him, he would ignore the call. And in that compound, his name changed from Oga Flex to that man that learned with his stomach. As for Madam P, she continued her business the same way, but now with a reputation that needed no advertisements. Don't mess with my Puff Puff. Thank you for watching the story. Kindly share your thoughts about the story with me in the comment section. What lesson did you learn from this story? Kindly share the story out with your loved ones and give the story a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you have not done.
Who is that? Okay.
Please, do not shave my hair. I'm innocent. I don't even know the man.
Don't worry, my dear. By the time we finish shaving your hair, you will be like the rest of us, bald.
In a village where no woman could grow hair, one girl was born with long hair. They hated her for it, not knowing she was their only hope. Once upon a time, there lived a village known as the Bald Village. At first glance, the village looked ordinary. Mud houses stood in neat rows. Narrow footpaths connected homes to farms and streams. Children ran barefoot, chasing one another in the dust. Elders sat under the old Iroko tree every evening, sharing stories of the past. But there was something strange about the Bald Village. Every woman there was bald. From the day a female child was born, no hair ever grew on her head. Not as a baby, not as a child, not as a grown woman. Generation after generation, the women of the village remained bald. It had been that way for so long that no one questioned it anymore. Baldness was their identity. Baldness was their fate. Then one day, fear broke its own rule. Her name was Zara. The day Zara was born, fear entered the village. The midwives screamed when they saw her. One of them nearly dropped the baby. Tiny strands of black hair covered the child's head, thick and full, shining under the lantern light. It was something none of them had ever seen before. Before anyone could ask questions or seek answers, tragedy struck. Zara's mother died immediately after giving birth. Her body grew cold while the baby cried loudly beside her. Confusion filled the hut. Morning came quickly. Barely a month later, Zara's father fell ill. No herbs worked. No prayers helped. He grew weaker by the day until death finally took him as well. By the time Zara was old enough to recognize faces, she had already lost both parents. According to tradition, she was sent to live with her closest relative, her aunt Mama Vero. Mama Vero accepted her, but not with love. Mama Vero had a daughter of her own named Vero, a girl who was bald like every other female in the village. From the very first day Zara entered the hut, Mama Vero felt a sharp pain in her heart. The child she took in had something her own daughter would never have, hair. As Zara grew, her hair grew with her. It became long, thick, and shiny. It fell down her back like a royal cloth. Whenever she walked, people turned to look. Whenever she bent her head, sunlight danced on her hair. The women of the village noticed. Some admired her openly. "Zara, your hair is beautiful," they would say. "Your hair looks like a blessing." Others admired her quietly, smiling while sadness sat heavy in their hearts. But some did not admire her at all. Mama Vero watched Zara closely every day. Each time she saw Zara combing her hair by the fire, something bitter stirred inside her. Her own daughter often sat nearby, watching silently, her smooth head shining. Comparison filled that hut, and comparison turned into hatred. Despite everything, Zara remained gentle. She helped with chores. She fetched water from the stream. She greeted elders politely. She never spoke back, even when Mama Vero treated her badly. The villagers could not help but like her. Then came the day that changed everything. The oracle called the village together. Everyone gathered at the sacred grove. Drums stopped beating.
Conversations ended. The oracle stepped forward, leaning on her carved staff. Though her eyes were clouded with age, her voice was strong. The curse will end, the oracle said. The people gasped. The one who carries what was taken shall rise, she continued. She shall become queen. She shall marry the prince of the kingdom. Through her purity, the curse shall be broken. Fear and excitement filled the air. The girl with hair, the oracle said clearly. She is the chosen one. All eyes turned to Zara, her legs shook. Her heart raced, Memar Vero froze. The elders reminded the people of the curse that had placed the village in this condition. Many years ago, a woman lost her husband. Instead of helping her, the villagers accused her of killing him. They dragged her to the village square, shaved her hair, beat her, and humiliated her. They banished her from the village. As she left in tears, she turned back and cursed them. You have taken my dignity, she cried.
I curse you today. You will become bald from generations after generations.
And so it happened. Now Zara stood as hope, but hope can also be a threat. Every praise Zara received made Memar Vero angrier. Each time people spoke of the future queen, jealousy burned deeper inside her. She knew one thing. If Zara lost her purity, she would lose everything. That was when Memar Vero made her decision. One evening, Zara returned from the stream. She was tired and thirsty. Memar Vero handed her a drink, smiling sweetly. Drink this, she said. You must be exhausted. Zara drank, her vision blurred, her body grew heavy, she collapsed into darkness. And that night, Zara's destiny began to fall apart. Zara woke up suddenly to loud shouting. At first, the voices confused her. Her head felt heavy, her eyes burned, and her body felt weak, as if strength had been drained from her. She tried to sit up, but before she could understand what was happening, a sharp pain hit her shoulder. A stone. Another followed, striking her leg. Zara screamed. She opened her eyes fully and realized she was surrounded. Men, women, children. They stood in a tight circle around her, shouting loudly, their voices filled with anger and disgust. Abomination. Immoral girl. She has brought shame upon us. Zara pushed herself up slightly, fear filling her heart. What is happening? She cried. Why are you shouting at me? No one answered her. Another stone hit her back. Someone else spat near her feet. Zara looked around wildly, confused and terrified. She had gone to the stream earlier. She had returned home tired. Her aunt had given her a drink. That was the last thing she remembered. She looked down. Her clothes were still on her body. She was not naked. She was not touching anyone. Yet the people shouted as if she had committed a terrible crime. I did nothing. Zara cried loudly. I swear by my life, I did nothing wrong. But the crowd did not want to hear her voice. She was found with a man. Someone shouted. She is not pure. Another screamed. Zara shook her head desperately. I do not know any man, she cried. I was alone. I only drank water and slept. Her words were drowned by noise. As the shouting continued, Memar Vero and her daughter, Vero, returned from the farm, carrying baskets on their heads. They stopped when they saw the crowd gathered around their hut. Memar Vero dropped her basket and rushed forward. What is happening here? She asked loudly. The villagers quickly explained. They spoke fast and angrily. They told her that a man had been seen lying beside Zara. They said Zara was found unconscious. They said she had disgraced the village. They said the future queen had broken the law of purity. Memar Vero did not ask questions. She did not look at Zara closely. She did not pause to think. She believed them immediately. Memar Vero shook her head slowly, pretending to be shocked. Ah, she said, clicking her tongue. This is terrible. Very terrible. Zara crawled toward her aunt, tears streaming down her face. Auntie, please. She cried. I did not do this. I drank the water you gave me and slept. I do not know anything else. Memar Vero pulled her wrapper tighter and stepped back. If you are innocent, she said coldly, why would a man be found beside you? Zara shook her head violently. I do not know him, she cried. I swear I do not know him. Memar Vero turned to the crowd. This is shameful, she said. If she has truly done this, then she has stained all of us. The villagers murmured loudly in agreement. Memar Vero's eyes darkened. There is only one punishment for this, she continued. Her hair must be shaved. The crowd erupted. Yes, shave her hair. Let her be like the rest of us. Zara froze. Her heart stopped. She raised her hands to her head, shaking. No. She screamed. Please, do not shave my hair. I did not do this. Please, Mama Vero did not hesitate. She stepped forward, grabbed Zara roughly by the arm, and pulled her to the ground. Another woman joined her. Zara struggled, screaming and crying, but they were stronger. Auntie, please, Zara cried. Have mercy on me, Mama Vero ignored her. She held Zara's head firmly while the other woman brought out a sharp blade. Zara felt the cold metal touch her scalp. She screamed. She begged. She cried until her voice cracked. Please, I am innocent. She cried. Please. But they did not listen. Mama Vero pressed her down harder. The blade moved. Strands of Zara's long hair fell to the ground. With each stroke, Zara felt something tear inside her. Her heart broke with every cut. Tears ran freely down her face as her hair dropped in heavy clumps onto the dusty ground. The crowd watched. Some shouted in approval. Some turned away. Some watched silently, their faces unreadable. When it was finally over, Zara's head was bare. Her scalp burned. Her body shook. She collapsed on the ground, sobbing uncontrollably. Mima Vero stood up slowly, breathing heavily. Inside her heart, satisfaction filled her like warm fire. It is done, she told herself. Let us see how a bald girl will become queen. The crowd soon dispersed. By morning, the village had moved on. Zara was no longer greeted. No one praised her anymore. Children pointed at her and whispered. Women avoided her path. Men looked at her with judgment. She stayed inside the hut. She stopped singing. She stopped smiling. She stopped dreaming. At night, she cried silently, holding her bald head and asking the ancestors why they had abandoned her. Days passed. Weeks passed. Then something unexpected happened. One morning, Zara touched her head absent-mindedly and felt something strange. Something rough. She touched again. Tiny strands of hair. She gasped. The next day, there were more. Within weeks, her hair was clearly growing again. The village noticed. Whispers spread like wildfire. How is her hair growing? She was shaved for immorality. She should be bald forever. What Mama Vero did not know was an ancient truth, one that existed even before the curse. In the bald village, when a woman's hair was shaved falsely for immorality, her hair would begin to grow again within weeks. Only a truly guilty woman would remain bald forever. Fear entered Mama Vero's heart. She stopped sleeping well. She avoided people's eyes. She knew the truth was catching up with her. And it did. The king heard everything. Soon, guards arrived. Mama Vero, her daughter, and the women involved were summoned to the palace. The king's anger shook the hall. Then the man who was paid to lie beside Zara was brought forward. He confessed. Mama Vero fell to her knees. The truth was exposed. Zara was cleared. Justice was served. And as Zara prepared to marry the prince, Mama Vero and her daughter worked under the sun, carrying water and firewood for the wedding they tried to stop. As Zara stood in royal cloth, her hair flowing once again. On the wedding day, drums filled the air. Zara stood beside the prince, radiant and calm. As the drums sounded, the procession began. Zara walked gracefully, her head held high, her steps firm and proud. The villagers watched in silence, a mixture of awe and shame in their eyes. When she reached the throne, the prince took her hand. Together, they knelt before the king, who blessed the union and declared that Zara was now the rightful queen, the one destined to lift the curse of baldness. At that moment, something remarkable happened. Women across the village began to notice tiny strands of hair sprouting on their heads. At first, it was only a whisper, but within hours, the growth was undeniable. Baldness, the ancient curse that had haunted them for generations, began to disappear. The people gasped in wonder. Her hair, her innocence. It healed us all, someone whispered. And indeed, the prophecy had been fulfilled. Zara, pure and unbroken, had broken the curse simply by the being herself. Meanwhile, Mama Vero and Vero could only watch in disbelief. Their hands, rough and calloused from labor, trembled as they carried buckets of water and firewood. They wanted to hide, to vanish, but the palace doors were closed, and their tasks demanded their presence. Every time Zara smiled or laughed with the prince, Mama Vero felt a stab of regret that she could not escape. She had tried to destroy Zara. And yet, Zara Zara had risen above it all. The celebration continued late into the evening. Music, laughter, and singing filled the palace and spilled into the village. For the first time in decades, the bored village knew joy. Mothers hugged their daughters and felt the soft hair growing on their heads. Girls ran through the streets, laughing and tossing their hair, discovering a part of themselves that had been denied for generations. Zara, now a queen, did not celebrate alone. She looked upon her people with compassion. She did not hold anger in her heart for those who had wronged her. Instead, she felt pity for those blinded by jealousy and fear. She knew that punishment had already touched them, Mama Vero, and Vero had already been humbled. Made to serve, and that was part of the justice of the moment. For Mama Vero, this was a bitter lesson learned too late. She had sought to destroy the girl she considered an enemy, only to realize that innocence and truth could not be defeated by lies. For Vero, it was a lesson in humility. She had grown up believing her mother's bitterness was justified. Now she understood the consequences of envy and wrongdoing. Zara never sought revenge. She ruled with wisdom, kindness, and patience. The prince was always at her side, helping her guide the village into a future filled with hope. Together, they taught the people that cruelty and jealousy could destroy, but courage, innocence, and truth could heal even the deepest wounds. Years later, stories of Zara and her long hair became legend. Mothers would tell their daughters about the girl who was hated, who was betrayed, but who rose to save them all. Be like Zara, they would say. Strong, pure, and brave. Even when the world turns against you, truth and goodness will always grow back, just like her hair. And so the walled village became a place where women could grow hair, where children could play freely, and where jealousy and hatred were remembered only as lessons of the past. Zara's name lived on, not as a girl who suffered, but as a queen who healed a village, who forgave when she could have hated, and who proved that innocence and truth were stronger than the darkest curses. The prince and Zara ruled for many years. Together, they guided the village through joy and prosperity. The people never forgot how one girl's courage and purity had broken a curse that had lasted for generations. And Mama Vero and Vero, they learned the hardest lesson of all. Envy destroys not only the one it targets, but also the one who harbors it. Zara stood on the palace balcony one evening, watching the sun set over the village. Her hair flowed in the wind, her heart full of peace. She had been hated, betrayed, and wronged, but she had also triumphed. She had survived, she had saved the village, and she had become the queen she was always meant to be. And for the first time in the village's long history, there was no curse left to fear. The village was free, and Zara...
I have transferred the money. You should receive the alert in a few seconds' time.
Wow, really? Thanks, babe. Foolish woman, after free okra, you still transfer money joy. By the time I'm through with you, you no go do longer throat for another woman husband again.
Open your eyes. This is Lagos, oh. If care is not taken, people fit upon you for free and take your money like saying and nothing. My people, gather around and hear this story. See how one woman walked straight into a free okra chance, thinking she hit jackpot, but ended up losing everything. Today, we go learn one serious lesson about envy, greed, and how not everything you see online is real. If pretending to be rich was a full-time job, Bisola would never be late to work. In fact, she would probably be promoted. Every morning in Lagos, before brushing her teeth properly, Bisola was already holding her phone, adjusting her wig, and checking the light to see where it would make her look like a rich woman. Once the angle was good, she smiled like someone whose bank account had no limits. Bisola lived with her husband, Mr. Abayomi, in a small apartment in Lagos. There was nothing wrong with the apartment, but it was not the kind of place you would expect a big madam to live. Yet online, Bisola looked like a woman who had houses in Lekki and cars she had not driven yet. Her secret was simple: borrowing. Bisola borrowed bags from friends. She borrowed shoes from cousins. She borrowed clothes from people who did not even like her. Sometimes she rented expensive items just for one day. She would wear them, take pictures from different angles, smile, pose, laugh, then return everything before sunset. After that, she would post the pictures slowly, one by one, as if she bought everything at once. Mr. Abayomi was her perfect partner in crime. He knew how to act rich without spending money. He wore neat suits bought on credit and spoke loudly on the phone in public places. Whenever people were around, he suddenly had important calls. He talked about contracts, meetings, and business trips that did not exist. People listened and nodded with respect. At night, when everywhere was quiet, they would sit on their small sofa and laugh. They laughed at comments calling them goals. They laughed at friends asking for connections. They laughed at people who believed they were rich. Mr. Abayomi always said that in Lagos, looking rich was better than being rich. Bisola agreed. One evening, after
So
posting
what game
pictures
is
from a
now?
gold hotel room, Bisola checked her phone and smiled proudly. She had many
What
likes.
is it now?
That was when she saw a message from her friend Mercy. Mercy was different. Mercy was actually wealthy. Her husband, Mr. Bassi, was a successful businessman. He worked hard, earned well, and lived comfortably. They did not shout about money online. Mercy posted simple pictures, sometimes food, sometimes family moments, nothing loud. But slowly, Mercy had started feeling uncomfortable. Each time she opened social media, Bisola was there. New bag, new shoe, new restaurant, new trip. Mercy started asking herself questions she never asked before. How is Bisola living this kind of life? How is her husband always spending? Why does my own life look so quiet? At first, she checked the comments. People were praising Bisola and her husband. Mercy felt something heavy in her chest. She started believing that Bisola and Mr. Abayomi were richer than her and her husband. That belief slowly changed her behavior. She started complaining. She started asking Mr. Bassi why they were not traveling often, why he was not showing wealth, why he was always calm. Mr. Bassi tried to explain that life was peaceful and comfortable, but Mercy was no longer listening. One afternoon, Mercy visited Bisola. Bisola welcomed her like a rich madam. She spoke confidently and moved around the house like she owned a mansion.
That part frustrating us in Nigeria here. Light. No light. So that's the reason why creators in Nigeria here is a bit. If you want to do any small thing, they will take delight. You can't stream well, in peace, nothing, nothing. They have to take delight in every second. When navel keep dirty, nothing, and I the smell pass. Na navel. It is the dirtiest part of our body. So when do you put in water? Chinenye, what is it? Oh yeah. Open the door, let her come inside, I beg. Don't push out. Is who? Eh. Let close this door. Well, is it waiting? As I asked before, don't come stress me. Is it waiting? Is it waiting? That's yeah. Oh yeah, go and serve him food. This your brother. He's the stress person. And now, hi, and now. Okay, what? Tabi Somolo Kwan. Hello, Kwan. Hello. We're watching this. Steve Mundenda. What is that? Kwan. How was it? My day was not was. My day is fine because it's still going. It's still going. The day is still going. You are from which country? That from Ivory Coast, but I live in Nigeria. From Ivory Coast. It's nice to meet you. Nice meeting you too. Nice meeting you too. Guys, subscribe to this channel. Look beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Nice house. Thank you. Thank you so much. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe and give me a thumbs up. We have more than a lot of people on this live stream. Please, guys. Please. Juan, how old are you? How old do you think I am? How old do you think I am? "26. Am I this young? It's too low. Seriously? Okay, that means I claim it then. That means I'm accepting it as from today. Yeah. Papa Mobimba. Hello, Papa Mobimba. 12:47. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, Papa Mobimba. Where are you watching me? Oh, my beautiful country, Kenya. I can't just wait to be in Kenya someday. Just just go there and visit the place, the safari and everything. I can't wait. See boy, hi. How are you? I'm fine, see boy. Okay, you were asking, you are busy with what? I'm not busy anymore. I was busy earlier, but not again. Oh my God. Watching from Paris. Oh, bonjour la France. Comment vous allez? J'espère que vous allez bien. J'espère que la France vous traite très très bien. Can you visit? Okay, you can. Pass. The one when they say here. Elvis. I live in Nigeria. With that, bring numbers. Tio, Lingando. Morning. Yeah, but here is no more morning. It's afternoon. Everything that everywhere. Give me the pillow. Tell your daddy. Carry this extension. This one extension. So let me repel it. Hey, Lizzie Morigi. Who removed my one like? Who has removed my one like? That's your daughter? Yeah. She is. Bonjour, Lizzie Morigi. Non, mais ici, il est 13h, donc bon après-midi à vous. The, I'll start with the name which know what you are saying. You are kind. Why are you telling me I'm kind? What did you say? What did you say? That you feel that I am kind. Theo Gandu. What do you see that you feel that I am kind? All the one do it too long, I don't like it. It's those short one. I am writing to you from Democracy of Congo, Democrat of Congo, du Congo, yeah. Oh God. Our Cloud Shay, hi. I'm still talking to you because so can't you talk to a married person? And what is your country of origin? My country of origin is Ivory Coast. My country of origin is Ivory Coast. C'est la Côte d'Ivoire. My country of origin is la Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. 100%. Yeah. Do you know the country? An Ivorian. Exactly. Exactly. My lovable country. My lovable country. I'm really missing the country, but not the people there, but just the country in general. Tabisumbo Lokwan. What are you thinking? I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just reading what people are writing, reading what is in the chat. Have you changed the water? Oh, well, if you like to chat with me every day, you can subscribe one. And I am always on my live stream all the time by God's grace. And you can as well turn on your notification anytime I'm online. You can be able to Zito the praise. Hi, Zito. I'm fine for that. How are you? How are you, Zito? You are welcome for joining always, Zito. Really appreciate you for that. Brazil, yeah. You are welcome, Kelvin Nicholas Valerio. Hi, Kelvin. No, Kelvin Nicholas. Okay, Kelvin Nicholas. Yeah. Let me go and prepare myself for work. I finished cooking. I finished eating. So let me prepare myself to work. Coming to grab you guys, and we are all going to work together. Okay. But the place is so noisy. It's a noisy place. So I might be muted depending of how the environment over there look like. So my live stream will be a bit muted over there. Yeah. Guys, time is going, time is going. Let me just go arrange. I'm coming. Preparation begins. The beginning of preparation. Oh my God, this is not the water for this job. Carry your eye. Oh God.